Just send him back there however he'll go. Here. I got her. She's a little tricky. You get many like this?
A few, not many. Not this time of year. And nerves? Most folks hauling somebody around?
No, he's not somebody anymore, I suppose.
No, I suppose not.
You just hang on. Calm down. So that's it then?
Pretty much. The body will be fine for the trip. The cold will help. There might still be some emissions, though.
Emissions?
But gases, odors. I mean, not much in this cold, I guess, but I want you to be aware should you have to open.
Nobody's opening anything till he gets where he's going.
Very well.
He's staying right where he is.
I understand.
All right then.
Albuquerque is a long way, is what I'm saying.
I'm aware.
I mean, are you sure you don't want us to ship him? It'd be much simpler for you. Probably wouldn't cost much more either.
Cost is not my concern. Emissions either. Simpler, my ass. It was never going to be that, was it? After all, hell. 14 years of living here. It wasn't going to be a plot at Mount View Cemetery either. Hell no. Or Jesus, cremation? It would have been fitting in for the likes of this one. Assholes to ashes, dust to dust. No, he's got to go back to Albuquerque and I got to take him. You were pretty clear about that, weren't you? That hunk of mortuary fodder back there is Jimmy Cobb. James Ardmore Cobb, 1932 until just here yesterday. How they tagged him with a name that shares the city in Oklahoma, I'll never know. Anyway, he arrived in the winter, and he left in the winter. So I guess you could say his timing was exquisite. You could say that if you didn't know him, and I suppose you didn't. Lucky sons of bitches. All right, boy. Well, old man, you're going to get your wish. And I'll get mine, won't I?
That's my father, Clinton Cobb. The sentient, breathing one of the cab, I mean, not the remains in the bed of it. The story of any family, I suppose, is this odd stew of what we know to be true, what we've been told, and what we have to imagine on evidence both solid and scant to make sense of the gulfs between the two. So it is with this story of this family, my family. I know some things, others know other things. In some cases, we've compared notes and tried to divine the likely truths between the lines. In other cases, we just don't know, and the details that might provide illumination have been carried off to places they're unlikely to be found. Graves and other deep places, you might say. Keep that in mind as you consider what's to come. Not everything is as it seems, but everything is. You follow?
Are you finished?
Yeah, I don't eat much anymore.
So what are you going to do today?
Same old.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for lunch.
I'm always happy to buy for two. Your vet know you feed your dog like that?
You know where my burial paperwork is, right?
Yeah, why?
It's in the little safe on the TV stand.
Yeah, you told me.
The key is...
Behind the silverware tray, I know. Who brought this on?
That's right, behind the silverware.
Dad, we've been
You
over
just sit still. I ain't gonna keep you much longer from places you'd rather be.
Dad,
Okay, you don't have to do anything but get me down there. Just put me in my truck and drive me. They'll take care of the rest.
I know we've been over it.
Everything's arranged. I bought the plot and the headstone before you made me move here.
I know.
I picked out the music and the sermon. I got them all picked out.
I know.
And the flowers. You don't have to do anything.
I know, Dad.
Am I bothering you?
No, but why bring it up now? And we've been over this many times.
I just want to make sure for when the time comes. I'm no spring chicken.
No, you're straight up gristle.
You bring Sammy, he'd like a nice ride through the countryside.
You know, the way you feed that dog, he's gonna die of
Never
diabetes.
you mind that, he likes it.
I wouldn't have been so hard on him if I knew what was coming, or how soon it would arrive. Yeah, I'm a big baby for banging away at that damn dog of his. I mean, it's a dog. And here I am, purportedly a grown-ass man. We're not in the same species. We're not in a competition for superiority. That question was answered long ago. It's unseemly, I know, but that dog saw more of the man's good nature than I ever did. Let me tell you, if dogs went to college, Sammy's fund would be filled to the brimming. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Do I hold a grudge against the dog and the man? Damned right. Am I silly for holding it? Also damn right. At least as far as the dog's concerned. The man had it coming. Anyway, what's done is done, and what isn't's not. And let's move on.
I'd have gone with you. All you had to do was ask or tell me.
No reason, you're busy. It'll just take a few days.
Dad, I just...
Katie, it's really fine.
It's Kay.
Kay, I know, sorry.
I guess I just don't get it.
Well, that makes two of us.
You're consistently glib, Dad. I'll give you that.
I am not.
Look, I just don't think that this is a good time for you to be on your own. I would have come. I would have wanted to come. I wish you'd asked me.
I know.
I'd have been there if I'd known you were going to do something like this, but then you'd have had to ask me, and...
I should have. I'm sorry.
You're halfway to Sheridan. Easy to say you're sorry now. Grandpa's really in the back of the pickup?
Yeah. He's back there. Bagged for freshness.
Don't say that.
All right, I owe you another sorry. I should buy them in bulk at Costco.
Isn't that weird? Having him back there like that?
I don't know what's weird or not anymore.
Well, that's not especially deep, is it?
Well, I can't be sorry and deep at the same time.
I wish I'd known him better.
Yeah. A lot of people wish that, except those that wish that maybe they didn't know him so well. Maybe you should consider the grace of your situation and count your blessings. Is that deep enough for you?
Again with the lines. It's like you just can't help yourself. But I know you can. That's what's so frustrating.
I don't mean to frustrate you.
Whatever. Yeah, you do. Listen, though, call Mom. I think you hurt her feelings.
Of course I did. It's what I do. It's getting bad. Hope the snow doesn't hold us up any. It's all right. You know, you're missing the countryside, for what it's worth. It's the whole reason he wanted you to come. If you're gonna Sleep all the way, you could have stayed home and ordered pizza. That's a joke, Sam. All right, maybe it's not the same for you. You're just a dog. Besides, the old bastard had your nuts cut off before you had a chance. But let me tell you about being a dad. Yeah, 9 months, you find you're getting one of these humans. And for 9 months, you think about who or what they're going to be, and you project out a lifetime for them. Your best hope of one for you, mind you, long before they draw a breath in the world. Yeah, and then you tag them with a name. Sort them out from the rest. We had a good one picked out long before she showed up. Katie. It's a good, strong name. We put a lot of thought into that. You could see her in our mind's eye. Wouldn't you know it? She looked like a Katie. She came out, cried, poops like a Katie. Yeah, it was a good name. But, wouldn't you know it? Kate has her own ideas of who she is and what she's going to go by. Thank you very much. What can you do? Nothing. No, it's her name, not yours. K. Cobb. Sounds like a salad or something, doesn't it? All right, kid, whatever you say. Hey, gas station coming up, you need to pee? Yeah, me too. Come on. You know, I wish you could talk, Sammy. She probably wouldn't get a word in edgewise with that old bastard. Well, if you have anything to say, you just let me know, all right? Must have been a fool to take this on. You're a good listener, Sammy. Be proud of that.
And your dog took crap out there?
Oh, it's not my dog. We're just traveling together. We share the music and we share the driving. I mean, I like Merle Haggard. He likes Mozart. It doesn't look like much, but he's cultured.
Look, man, are you gonna clean it up? I'm so sick of it. You people who just let their dogs crap all over the place.
Yeah, the shit you have to put up with,
Seriously.
right?
Hey, man, you trying to be funny?
No. Was I?
Was he what?
Was I funny?
Just clean it up, okay, man?
I'll clean it up, sure enough. Man's got to work himself up to such an endeavor, and I'm feeling rather peaked. You got a place where I can eat this delicious meal? I do believe I would faint dead away from the sheer excitement of cleaning up the rectal discharge of that fine animal out there. I hate these things. You love them, I know. Damn near can't live without them. Because if you need to know what year Smoke on the Water came out, or how far it is from Glendive to Milwaukee, it's all right there at your fingertips. And that's great as far as it goes. But this about tripled the chances that I'd be talking to someone I don't want to talk to. At times I don't want to talk to them. I mean, did you ever consider how much you were giving up when you decided to be forever reachable? I don't think you did.
Where are you?
Sheridan, Katie said you wanted me to call?
You doing okay?
Sure.
Snowy?
Janine, there's a whole channel dedicated to the weather. If you wanted to know, you could just tune in. What do you want?
When were you going to tell me about Jimmy?
Well, I figured Katie would. She did, right?
Well, she did. Clearly, otherwise, how would I know? But come on, Clinton. He was my father-in-law for 21 years. You could have called and let me know.
And you shared a city with him for 4 years after that. Couldn't be bothered. What do you want from me?
The same thing that I've always wanted from you. Just one consideration for what I might want or need before you Go off and do what you're gonna do anyway. Oh, who knows? Maybe it will actually change your trajectory. I won't hold my breath.
Oh, Jesus.
Fine, fine. I want nothing.
I'm sorry I didn't call, okay? I'm sorry I didn't ask Katie to come, okay?
I just wish you wouldn't make it so hard on her.
Jesus, Janine, I'm trying to make it easier. I just want to get Dad down there and get done with it. Yeah, doing what he's asked me to do, what I promised him that I would do without tangling anybody else up in it, that's all.
Did he suffer? I hated if he suffered.
I don't know. It was a massive stroke, they said. I don't know if that hurt much. There wasn't much to do after I found him. He spent a day in the ICU and just sort of went to sleep.
Well, I'm glad for that at least.
Yeah, it's like he knew. Yeah, he talked about his funeral the day before. Wouldn't shut up about it, honestly.
He always talked about his funeral. It was the one thing I think he was looking forward to. That's weird since,
Yeah, yeah.
This will sound weird, I know, but at least it's over, right? I mean, his burden is gone and yours too. He was just so angry at the world, it seemed like.
No, me. He was angry at me.
No, he resented you because he couldn't take care of himself, that's all.
Okay, whatever.
What?
But never mind, Janine.
What, Clint?
Look, I gotta go.
Oh, so go then. Now, you're not gonna go the whole way tonight, I hope.
No. Colorado Springs, maybe. Hopefully the rest tomorrow.
Okay. Be careful.
I always am. Bye. I hate these damn things. Now, I can't say that that would have gone any better if we were face to face. In fact, it might well have gone worse. Phone gives a little detachment, a little sense of distance. Janine and me, we needed that when it came right down to it. There was too much pain when we were in proximity. Too much we both knew, remembered, couldn't shake loose from. Too much love, too, if that makes any sense. You know, sometimes I'd be thinking about things and I think, I wish Janine were here so I could talk to her about it. And she's not, so I grab my phone and I look at it and I think, well, I could call her. But it wouldn't be the same, so I don't. Well, you're good for something, I guess.
So, let me tell you about the prototypical interaction between my mother and my father, whether they stood in the same room or talked by way of cellular towers. Voices were never too pitched. Emotions would simmer, but rarely boil. Ultimately, there would be kindness in their words, even when they'd come no closer to bridging the distances between them. It was annoying, really, because it was all so anticlimactic. You'd get the sense that maybe we were coming up on a watershed kind of anger, something cleansing, maybe even something terrible that might lead to some bit of higher ground, and then the moment would lamentably pass. Cordiality, that most unsatisfying of manners, would set in again. What was Dad thinking the day he drove off? I don't know. I don't know because he didn't say. Dad wasn't a sphinx, exactly, but he also never managed to get rich collecting pennies for what was on his head. They say if you don't know what an extrovert thinks, you haven't listened. And if you don't know what an introvert thinks, you haven't asked. I listened. I asked. I don't even know if Dad was an introvert or an extrovert. That's how far in the weeds I was. We all were. You know, The most unkind thing I ever said to my father is that he didn't know the difference between being around and being present. It's also the most accurate thing I ever said to him, so I let it stand. And I'll keep it standing, even knowing what I don't know now, because here's the hell of it. The not knowing is more profound.
No, he always did love these hairy herding dogs.
That there's Sammy. It's been a while since he's heard anything but kibble. Can't even make a run at the FedEx guy anymore, poor Emmett bastard.
Lovely dog. He smells like legal trash. So you're taking him home then?
Sammy?
Ah, your father, don't play that game with me.
Yeah, it's home. To him, not to me. It's where he wanted to go, so you know I'm the granter of wishes.
You certainly work for me. I'm surprised you made it this long. He was, what, 79?
No.
70.
77, you know this. You'd have been 71. Don't play that game with me.
You always were such a clever boy, Clinton. It was annoying sometimes. You're not making it past Buffalo Day, not in this weather.
I'll make it.
Whatever you say.
I thought you might show. Glad you did.
Thought you might have some questions. Thought it could be some help.
No questions, just thoughts, I guess.
We take that currency too.
I really don't know how to say it. The thoughts get all tangled up when I try and put words to them.
Or beyond preambles, wouldn't you say? Just say it.
Okay, fine. It's not that I'm upset that he lived as long as he did. I just can't see how it was fair I got so much time with him, so little with you, you know what I mean?
I know.
You and I could have done so much more with that time than he and I ever did. Mom?
I heard you, sweetie. It's hard to explain where I am, the concept of what's fair and not fair. It's not as simple as it must seem to you. Time is both irrelevant and finally understood in a way that it just wasn't before.
I don't follow.
Circumstances aren't fair or unfair. They just are. Things happen or don't happen. People are and they aren't. This comes and that goes. And I feel like you're trying to find some sense to it that just isn't there sometimes. Do you understand?
Sort of, I guess.
Let me put it this way. I don't think it was particularly fair that I got sick 20 years before the BRCA1 gene was discovered. But it wasn't unfair either. It's just what happens, where my earthly life fell. And yes, I was angry, hurt, violated at the time, but it makes better sense when you can see it in this sort of cosmic context.
So it's all chance. That's no answer. I was 11 years old. I still needed you.
I know. But it's like I've been telling you, I've been here.
Just not the way I needed you to be. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be hurtful.
Nothing hurt. Say what you need to say.
That was it, I guess.
So he's in the back?
Yeah, trapped for once, the old bastard.
There's a poetic justice in that.
Yeah, how so?
Oh, nothing. Just earthbound grudges stirring up. Forgive me.
So, tell me this at least. Did you love it?
Sammy? Did you?
I asked first.
Yeah, well, your answer's more important than mine, I think. You're still here.
Still, I want to know. I've always wondered. The longer I've lived and the longer you've been gone, somewhere else, less sense it made to me. Never could understand how the two of you added up to anything.
We've had a lot of chance to talk about this before. Why is this coming up now?
I don't know.
Son.
Well, I guess I always hoped that he and I would talk about it. But we never did, and now we never will.
Do you ever wonder why it is that I only came to you sometimes? You didn't ask, so I didn't volunteer, but you certainly were a receptive boy, Clinton.
I was just happy to see you whenever.
Well, there are rules. Rules of engagement, you would call them. I wasn't permitted to come and see you until you were grown. Oh, that about killed me. No pun intended.
I see. So what else?
What I could say or couldn't say, whether I could intervene, and I couldn't. And so, instead, we just chatted. Like when he'd come home from school, you remember?
Sure.
Okay, so, let's chat. Did you love your father?
I think I did. I was his son, he was my dad.
That sounds like some sort of genetic obligation, not love. Little boys love their fathers. Older boys, well, things sometimes change.
Yeah, I guess.
Give it some deeper thought, son. You have the time.
I will. Now, you answer my question.
Did I love Jimmy?
That's the one.
I think so. There was something in him that moved me, I guess, or maybe I just saw some good times in the backseat of the Chevy.
Mom!
What? You're trying to tell me that you've never spent time in the backseat of a truck with some girl. Remember, I know more, and God help me, have seen more than I have told you.
There was a Mazda once.
Oh, Mazda, really?
It was Janine up on the rims. My legs dangling out the back windows. It's a small car, Mazda.
Oh, sharp moves, son, sharp moves. Snow gate's coming down. Not making it past Buffalo tonight.
Wait. Well, hold on there, Sandy. What's going on?
You might ought to get up now.
Sandy. Sandy, be quiet. What the hell? Hey! You bastard. Beat the shit out of you. Oh, no. That's a damn dumb thing. I'm going to have to get that fixed. Sandy, shut up. Sandy, be quiet. First Mom, now you. Who's lucky boy?
Carolina's here? I haven't been able to find her.
No, earlier.
Oh. I'll catch up to her eventually, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't know a thing about that.
No, I guess you wouldn't. It's not what I expected, I'll tell you. Not that I expected anything, except maybe I'd be barbecuing my nuts off right about now.
Well, you look good. It's pretty amazing. The last time I saw you, you looked like shit.
You like this? That's one of the perks, that I get to pick my hair anytime I want. I always liked wearing these studs.
Yeah, well, I'm thrilled for you.
You let that thief go.
I didn't let him go. He got away.
Whatever. The point is,
Your damn dog woke everybody else up.
don't you blame this good boy.
You're right. You're right. I blame you.
You shouldn't let that guy finish getting back there with me. He'd have unzipped me, and I'd have gone, boom, motherfucker! Boy, howdy, that would have been something.
Yeah, that's all I need. You dead, him scared to death, me trying to explain to the cops why there's 2 dead bodies in the back of my truck.
Oh, go ahead, open me up. Let's take a look.
I was thinking about it.
Scared though, ain't you?
I'm tired. I'm fed up with your bullshit. I gotta bust out of here on a couple hours of sleep because I can't chance somebody didn't call the cops. And I'm gonna have to explain to you the dead you, the better version, if somebody does show up. Now why don't you just leave me alone?
No, let's take a drive. The gate's still down, you won't make it.
I'll make it.
You'll get hung up in the median and they'll have to come pull your sorry ass out. Probably laugh at you.
I'll make it. Hang on. I told you,
Luck.
that was skill.
Whatever you say, sports. Say, where's your mom? Can you get her here?
You think you'd be here if I had control over that?
That's a hell of a thing to say to your own father.
Yeah, truth hurts and all that.
You know what your problem is?
Present company excluded?
Don't be a smart ass.
Tell me.
Your problem is you just don't know what you know about anything. Ever.
What is this, Tales from the Cryptic?
You know exactly why I'm here.
Yeah, you're too ornery to die. I tried to tell the doctors.
See? I'm trying to tell you something and all you got's a smart mouth.
Oh, this is rich. You die, I'm the one that ends up in hell.
Never mind. I'll be back. We'll see how much of a big talker you are then.
Don't go now, it's just getting fun. It's all right, Sammy. Come on. Ciao!
Mom waited till I was grown, gone, out of the house, in college, in my life, in my career, before she told me that Dad talks to dead people. No, wait, let me say it as she did. Your father, he has visitations. And of course, being his child, if not a child, I wanted to know more. Is Dad delusional?
Delusional? No.
Is Dad mentally ill?
No.
Will Dad see someone about this?
Well, now what do you think, dear?
Do you believe Dad?
Yes.
Should I believe Dad?
Yes.
Can I talk to Dad about this?
Absolutely not. There was no way to keep it from her. And I didn't want to anyway. I was glad that Clinton shared it with me. Well, he pretty much had to when I caught him talking to the wall. But I thought it was unfair for him to expect me to just hold it, because every question that Kay asked, I'd asked myself long ago. It's crazy, right? It's fanciful and weird and invented. And I would have said as much to Clinton if I thought he was lying to me. But Clinton, whatever his faults, he is not a liar. Sometimes I wish he would have been. What came between us, well, it might have been easier to take if I could have considered him a dirty, deceitful liar, but I can't. So, Clinton told me and I told our daughter, but that is where the telling ends. This little aside, well, aside. But Kate talking to her dad about it, I can't have that, and neither can he. Oh, he'd be ticked off something royal.
So I never said a word. And truly, I mostly didn't think about it, because where does that lead? Right? Nowhere good. I went about my life, as we all should. When Mom and Dad divorced, the biggest surprise in never, I simply adjusted my course. I spent a little bit of Thanksgiving and Christmas with them, and a whole lot of everything else with my coworkers, my friends, the people I choose. I inherited these people. Do I love them? Yes, with my whole heart. Would I choose them? No. No, I would not. But let me tell you something else. Dateline, Casper, Wyoming. 3 family members were found dead in their home Friday, victims of an apparent murder-suicide. Dead are Martin Shamley, 33, his wife Margaret, 32, and 12-year-old Brian Shamley, the couple's son. Police say it appears Martin Shamley shot his wife and son in the back of the head as they watched television before turning the gun on himself. No further details were offered. I found this a few years ago before I left for school in Missoula. It was jammed into the 1979 Reader's Digest World Almanac, like a bookmark. The date on the article, May 13th, 1978. In June of that year, Dad and Grandpa Jimmy moved from Casper, Wyoming to New Mexico, my Grandma Carolina having died a few years earlier. How I wish I'd known her. I asked Dad about this article when I found it. I said, "What's this about?" He was taciturn, as is his way.
I knew Brian. He's a nice kid. Sad story, though.
Like I said, he never got rich collecting pennies for his thoughts. Mom didn't have the answers either, except maybe Occam's razor. You know, the simplest explanation is probably the correct one.
It's an old clipping in an old book, honey. Probably somebody kept it and just floated around and...
A likely story.
They're calling it a megastorm, Clint. We've got 15 inches on the ground and it's still coming. You shouldn't be out there.
It's not so bad. It's no man's land out here now. I just got to keep pushing on through.
You
Almost
should've-
to Casper now.
You should have flown. You'd be there. It'd be done.
I know. Next time I'll do it that way.
Next time. Jeez, Clint. That's why
Why you love me?
I couldn't quite bring myself to shoot you.
Yeah. Same difference. I need to talk to you about something.
Okay, talk.
You know how you used to find me sometimes at night and I was talking and,
Sleepwalking.
all right, something like that, yeah?
Sure,
You remember that?
I do. You're seeing her again, are you?
And him.
Him?
Him, Jimmy, my dad, yeah.
When?
You know, was in the truck a couple hours ago at the motel.
But they're not real.
They come and go. Real, I don't know.
Well, what do they say?
Well, you know, she is warm, gentle, kind. He's an asshole, same old.
That sounds real enough. Oh, Jesus, Clint. You're sleep deprived and you've got 700 miles to go. And why are you doing this? Just sleep it off and come home. He won't care, not now.
I can't.
Why not?
I promised him I'd do this. I gave him my word.
Oh, so you're keeping your promises now. I didn't mean
No,
that.
it's okay.
No, please,
It's
Clint.
okay, Janine.
I'm sorry I said that.
Look, I gotta go. I gotta go. Gas station coming up.
Okay.
Bye now. Come on, Sadie. Stay close. Get in the truck. Come on.
That dog bite?
Never seen him do anything like that. I'd be surprised if he did.
Yeah, he looks nice.
Yep.
Can I get a ride?
The door's unlocked. Hop in there next to Sammy. Yeah, just climb in next to Sammy there. He likes people. No offense intended.
Can I ask you something?
Sure, shoot. Again, no offense.
Where you been?
Where are we going?
The neighborhood. Where you been, huh?
Not there, not in a long time.
But where?
It's a long story. Let's not get into it.
I've been looking for you. That's all. You were nice to me. I liked you.
It wasn't that nice.
Nice enough, especially for an older kid. Nicer than the others. Your mom would give me candy. I liked her too.
That's the old house.
Yeah, and mine's right next door. I don't know anybody in them now though.
It wasn't rent before. When did they put the garage on?
I don't know.
Sure has changed around here.
Some things, others not even a little. Richard Miles still lives up there.
Richard Miles? Geez, I haven't thought of him in ages.
I watch him come and go. I'm glad she came. I've been hoping you would.
This wasn't a happy place. I didn't want to come back.
Can I tell you something?
It's your cab fare. That's a joke. Then tell me.
Don't blame your dad. It wasn't his fault.
Ah, yeah.
He did what anybody would do.
No, I
I'm
just...
thankful. Still am. Although, it doesn't really matter much now. Thankfulness, it's...
I get it. I understand. But it's not just that, you know. It's a whole lifetime. Things before and beyond.
Just don't blame him, okay?
It's not that easy. But I'll try. We moved to New Mexico not long after. I graduated high school, went into the Navy, got out, got a pipelining job up in Billings. Wife, kid, ex-wife, grown kid. You asked, that's the short of it.
How old are you?
I'm 46.
I'd be 43.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it didn't turn out the way it was supposed to.
I probably have a beard like you, huh?
That's a very distinct possibility. Why don't you come with me?
That would be neato. But I can't.
Well, sure you can. Sammy likes you well enough.
I'm not allowed to go places I didn't know. I only knew here.
Allowed?
There's rules and stuff where I am. I mean. I'll be here when you get back.
Yeah. I'll make sure that I stop for gas then. You'd think they'd disturb me, these visitations or whatever you want to call them, but they don't. They're almost reassuring in a way, because I know deep down that whatever space I occupy and they occupy, it's not the same. But we can talk to each other across it. That's not to say that it wasn't jarring the first time my mother showed herself to me. I mean, I come home from work and walk in the house, Janine's out of town, and there's Mom, sitting in my recliner talking to me, plain as day, right? Can't see something like that for the first time and not be taken back a little bit. It'd be like going to your refrigerator and opening the door and finding Marilyn Monroe sitting in the potato salad. I mean, that's gonna give you a second thought or two, you know? But the more she showed herself to me, the more comfortable I got with it. And Brian? It's perfectly natural. perfectly supernatural. Now, have I ever told anybody besides Janine, who I pretty much had to tell when she found me jabbering to the air? No, I have not, nor will I, especially not some doctor, or somebody who thinks they can decide that I'm not in my right mind and take away whatever freedom I might have left in this world. Yeah, I've seen that Travolta flick. You know, the one where he gets all clairvoyant. I've seen how they treat you, what they do. How they lock you away, they think you're crazy. You think if they came to that same conclusion about me, that they would let me bust loose and play hide the sausage with Kyra Sedgwick? I think not. What if it is a tumor? Like Travolta had in the movie. So what? So I die, bring it on. But it's not a tumor, this thing. No. No, they're real. Every one of them. I mean, you saw them, right?
The word at this hour is Superstorm Snow, chasing down from the Canadian border all the way through the Raton Pass between Colorado and New Mexico. If you're south of Cheyenne, you're probably ahead of the worst of it. Keep moving south or hunker down and wait it out.
You said I wouldn't make it.
Haven't made it yet, hotshot.
I will. Gonna get you down there and get you planted. Get on with the getting on. You know, Dad, your timing's for shit. You up and die in the midst of the storm of the century. You couldn't have waited till spring.
Why the hell should I have waited? Wasn't nothing left to live for anyway.
What are you hanging around here for? Get some of that celestial brew and a honky-tonk angel and go bask in the hereafter.
You got a hell of a smart mouth, son. You ought to be more respectful. I'd have had no truck with you those last years if I hadn't gotten old. Now I'll never be old again. I ought to whoop you for the things you said and done.
Yeah, try it. Let me remind you, I'm not the size I was last time you wore those clothes. I punch back all the time.
Whatever you say, sport. Say, I see that boy set you straight, told you it wasn't my fault what happened back there.
Yeah, he told me.
So that's something.
Oh, it's a big bag of nothing. I'll chalk it up to Brian's eternal youth and inexperience that he just didn't understand.
That man was beating his damn kid, Clinton. I wasn't going to put up with that, no way.
So you just whooped his ass right there on his lawn in front of the God, his neighbors, and everybody. That really helped. Jesus. Call the fucking cops, man. You humiliated the man. It's no wonder he went off.
So it's my fault he did what he did?
No, it's not your fault. But you could have made it better than you made it worse, like you always do. Or did. Thank God for the past tense. Dead family. Boom. We gotta move. Boom. I gotta move from the house that my mother raised me in.
That move was good for us. It's good that we did it.
Yeah, good for you, maybe not for me. You can account for anything you want to the way you want to now, but you don't get to decide anything for me, got it?
I did what I thought was right.
And you were wrong, which you can't even understand, which is the whole point. This world is full of chock full of cocksure fools and reluctant geniuses. Guess which one you are?
That kid who was trying to help you. Set your grudge down, you'll sleep better.
I'll sleep better when you stop pestering me. And I'll hang on to it, thanks. It's instructive. Like I said, he wasn't old enough to know better. I am.
He knows more than you. There's clarity out here.
Hasn't filtered down to you yet, I see.
I'm serious.
Like how now you can only go where you've been.
You know about that?
Brian said something. Took a while to figure it out, but it makes sense, I guess, as much as anything does. One thing I haven't made sense of, though, never mind.
What?
I've been seeing Mom for a while.
You have? How long?
Years.
Well, you never said
Well, can
anything.
you imagine how that would have gone over?
So what's the problem?
Billings. I was never there with her. That's where I see her mostly.
Oh, but she was there a lot. Hell, right after we got married, I was working on a cattle ranch out in the Pryor Mountains. Billings was the big city. We used to go dancing. Carolina sure could cut a rug.
I never knew any of this.
Some things don't belong to you, Mr. Important.
Yeah, whatever.
You know where she didn't go?
Tell me.
Albuquerque. Or New Mexico at all. But I did, as you know. Which means I'll be riding your ass the whole way down. And back if I take a notion to it. Buckle up, Jack!
I don't know if I could take that much. Good luck.
I'll be seeing you, sport.
It's all right, Sammy.
State police in Wyoming and Colorado are warning drivers to stay off the highways unless it's a life and death situation. Stay in, stay safe, and stay warm.
What the hell's going on, Sammy?
The earliest memory I have of my grandfather is from when I was 4 or 5 years old. We'd driven down to Albuquerque in the middle of summer, the three of us, Mom, Dad, and me, all packed into this 1983 Mercury Cougar without air conditioning, the sickly smell of sweaty bologna sandwiches floating up from the sack lunches riding in the back seat with me. I remember Dad being not nervous exactly. I have no recollection of his ever being in that particular state. Now, it's more that he was preoccupied. He was hard to talk to that trip, that I remember. Harder than usual, I mean. Grandpa Jimmy lived in this squat adobe house just below Wantonville Boulevard, a place I found out later he'd bought after his second marriage ended. Her name was Susan. I didn't know her. We spent 2 or 3 nights there, me and Mom sleeping on these couches that smelled like stale beer and saltines, Dad flopping around on the floor all night, the three of us just sweating in that brick oven of a house. It was a weird collection of humanity, that much I recall. Dad and Grandpa drank beer and talked about not much. Mom cooked, and well, that was the thing. There was nothing in that house for a little girl, so Grandpa dumped out Folgers coffee cans full of old coins and had me sort them by denomination. When I finished with that, he dumped out tin cans full of nuts and nails and bolts and had me sort those too. When we left, he gave me the money over Mom and Dad's objections. Back in Billings, Mom took me to the bank and we opened a savings account with it. There was $253.37 in there. The account is still active, still adding interest. I've never touched it. That's weird, right? But see, I tell you all that so I can tell you this. The part of that trip that still stands out the most to me all these years later came on the return drive back to Billings as we passed through a town called Pueblo, Colorado. That place looked to my young eyes like glorious, otherworldly ruins. A place that had once prospered but now did not and never would again. All those hard-lived buildings, all those pockmarked streets and clapboard houses and silent mills, it all looked so bombed out and hollow, and I wanted out of there just as soon as I saw it. I don't know how to explain it really. The impressions that run deep when you're just a kid. Those are mine, where my grandfather's concerned. Bologna sandwiches, stacks of change, dirty nails and bolts, and Pueblo. So get this. If you were to get your hands on the State Patrol report from Pueblo County, Colorado, from a certain winter day, and you were to read with a certain fixation on certain events, you'd learn about a man found sitting out against his pickup in the gathering snow. How that man wasn't drunk, wasn't belligerent, wasn't breaking the law, wasn't anything at all except a man entirely out of place in a storm entirely out of control, and thus a conundrum to the likes of a highway patrolman who could only let him continue on his way, odd as he might have been. What was Dad doing out there? I'll never know. I'll always wonder.
Let me ask you something. Remember that bike we got you for Christmas? Jesus, when was that? 72, 73? I think it was silver with an orange seat.
It was 73, I remember it. Mom passed on the next year.
Is that right? It all runs together.
Not for me, it doesn't.
Oh, give yourself time, sport. You're still a kid yet.
Sure.
You traded that bike for a different one, didn't you? An older one. Big hunk of junk, as I recall. I remember I said to your mom, Carolina, I said, if Crisco was brains, that boy wouldn't grease too big a pan.
Right.
I mean, I knew you was being a damn fool, but I said, Carolina, I said, if he wants to make the slop, we gotta let him do it. Some people just need the education that comes with idiocy. That's what I said.
I know you did.
Who was the kid that got that bike anyway?
Oh, you know damn well who got it.
Not that.
Yeah, that kid. It was Brian. You know why I traded him? He didn't get anything for Christmas that year. He loved that bike more than I ever did the first time he ever set eyes on it. He had this busted ass, no chain 5-speed. And I said, hey, I'll trade you for that if you want.
Well, I
Yeah,
never.
I know. You never.
Well, something's wrong with Sammy.
Come on, boy. All right, hold
Pull
on.
over.
Easy.
God damn it, something's wrong.
I get it. Come on.
Get him out. Help him, God damn it.
Come here, Sid. Come on. Come on.
What the hell did you feed him?
Unusual.
What?
God damn it, kibble. Dog food.
Oh, he's dying, Jesus, he's
He's
dying.
an old dog.
Oh, you killed my damn
An
dog.
old dog.
Asshole dog killer.
Clinton, look at me. It is not your fault. Don't listen to him. Now stay calm and help the dog if you can.
He killed my dog.
Clinton, you did no such thing.
You always took his side, didn't you?
Just shut up, Jimmy.
It's okay. Looks like you got a dead bird, made it. Come on, boy. Here we go. Oh, you stay back. I got it.
Well, he's my dog.
You don't have a thing to say about it anymore.
Well, I was
I don't
just
want to
trying-
hear another word about it. How you became more trouble for me dead than you ever were alive, I'll never know. You must have pissed off somebody important.
Please don't say that. You have no idea.
Of course I don't. I want you gone.
Well,
Leave me. Leave me to my mom.
I'll go, but she's got to go first.
No!
Yes,
Why?
he was here first, Clinton. It's his moment. There are rules, like I told you before. I broke them by intruding. Since he was here first, it's his call.
It's my call.
It doesn't work that way, sport.
So now you're the expert on how it all works.
He's right. He could have me sanctioned for being here at all. He is not going to. We are both going to leave and give you some peace. I have to go.
I don't want you to go.
I'm sorry. We'll see each other again. Just not right now.
Just you and me.
Go.
Listen, go! I'll be seeing you, kid.
Here's what an officer, Jonathon Hunter, wrote in the report he submitted to his watch commander.
The subject, Clinton Cobb, 46 of Billings, Montana, said that his father's dog got sick and he pulled over to tend to the animal. Without prompting, he said that he was transporting his deceased father in the back of the pickup and was trying to get to Albuquerque for burial. He produced paperwork to this effect, and I called the mortuary in Billings and verified that Mr. Cobb had the authorization to take the remains. I did not verify the remains in the pickup. Asked why he was sitting in the snow, Mr. Cobb said that he was overcome with grief and was taking a few minutes to collect himself. I advised Mr. Cobb that he should not be traveling in these conditions and that he'd be taking matters into his own hands should he continue down the road. He said he understood, but he needed to continue. I had no reason to detain him. I advised Mr. Cobb that the weather should clear below Raton Pass, and I wished him well.
That is what I know. It is at once informative and utterly absent of anything useful. I know that Dad made it to Albuquerque, which is the important part, I guess. There's nothing in the record I can find between Pueblo and Albuquerque that offers any clue to what came next, or didn't. Dad and I had one more conversation. We'll get to that soon enough. I wish there'd been more. That's the biggest loss. We should have had time and we didn't. Nobody can repay that. Am I bitter? No, I don't think so. I'm sad. You know, I'm hurt. I'm lacking in the information that could connect what I knew then to what I can only imagine now. I miss my dad, something fierce.
He's no
This is something, Gil. Never expected it. I can't thank you enough for hosting.
Glad to do it. Glad you called and let me know.
Ask him how the fuck he's still standing upright. He was half dead 30 years ago.
It's a nice thing, though. I was afraid there wouldn't be anybody tomorrow.
Most of these folks were all friends of Jimmy's. Some of the younger guys your age, their daddies were friends of Jimmy's. Yes, he wasn't the first of our bunch to go, sad to say.
Should have been the last.
Yeah, I was afraid nobody'd be down here. I didn't know he had so many friends down here.
We're fond of old Jimmy. Sorry to say goodbye, but it happens faster than you think.
Sure.
Phyllis goddamn Flanagan, hot damn! I never could time up being single when she was, but there she is, widowed and free, and here I am, looking good as I ever have. And we can't make the hookup. Man, what a raw deal this dying shit is.
Shut up.
Pardon?
Nothing.
See, I meant to ask you, what's your plan for that dog?
Oh, Sammy?
Yeah.
Oh, God, I hadn't thought it through, to tell you the truth. Take him back home and figure it out from there, I guess. I always hoped the dog would go first. Dog first, dad second, clean break. Does that sound crass? I don't mean to sound crass.
What the hell kind of hope is that?
Especially, no, I hear you. Are you inclined to part with him?
Are you inclined to take him on?
Yeah, are you inclined to take him on?
I think I might, yeah. I haven't had an animal in years. Belle didn't like dogs much. She's gone. It's lonely. Yeah, if Jimmy liked him, I'd like the old fella too, I reckon. Yeah, I'd take him if you don't want him.
Well, I'd be happy to let you have Sammy.
Yeah, we'd be happy to. Sammy doesn't really like this so-called son of mine.
Well, that'd be just fine.
Let me get his stuff out of the truck before I forget it. Listen, Dad, do you think you could give me a minute here? I'd like to make a call.
You gonna get yourself a nice piece of ass?
Yeah, you know me so well.
Equipment still work?
Not that it's any of your
Oh,
business.
here we
But
go.
I thought I might call my daughter, you know, Katie. You seen pictures.
I gotta give you credit for it. You are consistent. Consistently a prick.
Well, that's high praise coming from the likes of you.
Oh, never you mind. There's a better brand of people back there anyway.
Don't keep them waiting, superstar.
Dad, hi.
Hi, Pookie Nose.
Dad, are you calling from 1996? What's with the Pookie Nose crack?
I'm calling from Albuquerque.
I see.
Funeral is tomorrow.
I've heard.
Catch an early flight. Come on down. I'm sorry I didn't ask you to come down before.
Dad, I can't. There's work.
Look, please don't make me beg. Just come. I need you here. I'm going to send him off. You should be here.
I know. I want to. Why didn't you ask me before?
I just didn't see it. I thought I was doing you a favor by keeping you away from it, but I was wrong. You're going to have to do this for me one of these days. You consider that a training exercise.
Dad, stop.
Funeral's at 3. Catch a morning flight. Come on down. We'll drive back together. We'll eat junk food and listen to bad music. It'll be fun.
I'll try. I promise I'll try, okay?
Thanks, Katie.
It's...
Kay. I know. I'm trying, sweetheart.
Here you are. I love you, Dad.
Love you.
Hi, Clint, is everything okay?
Yeah, amazingly enough. Gil Allen threw a little get-together of Dad's friends down here. It's a nice little send-off.
He would have liked that.
Adjust your tense. He is liking it.
He's there.
Yeah, unless my eyes deceives me, which is...
Yeah, entirely possible.
No, it makes it feel less like a fool's errand. It's more like a benediction with bad beer.
I'm glad, I really am.
I called Katie.
Okay.
I asked her to come down as it stopped snowing.
A few hours ago, is she gonna do it?
I don't know. I hope so. She was reluctant, I think, crying.
Well, you can't blame her.
I don't.
I'll give her a call.
Well, don't make it sound like I asked you to. I want her to come only if she wants to, no pressure.
You should know by now that she can't be made to do anything. If you see her, it's because she made her own call.
I know.
It's one of the best things about her. I don't know where she got it. She didn't get it from either of us, I don't think.
I know.
I think she'll come, Clint. I really do. Rest easy tonight.
You sure?
It's been a long time since I've been sure about anything, but I don't know. I just got a feeling.
Okay.
You having fun tonight?
Yeah, it's a kick. The old goat still has a lot of friends down here. I'm surprised that they never came up to visit. He never came down here while he still had the chance.
Always had a side of life that he pretty much kept to himself.
Anyway, I'm going to go back in. I'll look for Katie. Tell her to call me if she decides to come and needs picking up.
I will. Clint?
Yeah,
I just want you to know that
I know. Me too. Bye now.
didn't mean to wake you.
Oh, you didn't.
I brought an extra blanket. Cold morning. Good hard freeze.
What the hell happened?
Jose Cuervo ain't much of a friend, is he?
Yeah, not when you're riding a Budweiser Clydesdale, is
Wait.
What time is it?
A little after 8. Hungry?
Not so much, no.
Yeah, I meant to tell you. Last night, I reached out to Susan. I figured she might want to at least know about your dad.
Susan?
Yeah, I talked to her son.
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah, that's him. He sounds like she's in a bad way. Said he'd let her know, but not that she'd understand it.
She's here in town.
Leave it be.
Lives in a little place over on Candelaria. Been there for years.
You got the address?
Leave it be.
1617. Easy to remember. You know, ever since she and Jimmy busted up, she'd still call me if she had a plugged drain or something. Haven't seen her for years, though. Well, since I retired. Nice lady. Yeah, shame about her. Sounds like dementia. Been a lot of that going around lately. Lost a lot of folks. She was a good lady.
What the hell would you know about it?
1617, you say?
You don't fucking dare!
I'll be back before it's time to go to the service.
Did I do something wrong?
Yes!
No, I just figure maybe I ought to go say goodbye while I still have the chance.
Maybe you ought to just
thought of
sit
it.
your ass down.
I'll be back.
I forbid this.
I'll be back.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't come back. I'm oblivious to all this, of course. I'm in the air now. Billings to Denver, Denver to Albuquerque. I have a stomach that won't stop flipping and flopping. A nice flight attendant hands me ginger ale. On the second flight, I have a row all to myself. It's not all bad. We arrive in Albuquerque. I call Dad, and it goes to voicemail. Dad, I'm here, and I'm on my way. I'll meet you at the service. I love you. It's early. I'm early. I am also entirely too late. I sit with my grandpa. He has nothing to say. I have even less. I barely knew you. I'm sorry. You barely knew me. Are you sorry? Everyone says such nice things about Grandpa, about how much they liked him. And I can't help but wonder if they're talking about the same man I barely knew. Everybody asks me where Dad is. What can I tell them? I do not know. Then, now, tomorrow, I do not know.
Oh, darling. I'm sure he must have gotten held up somehow. He wouldn't have missed this for anything.
But he did.
I'm sure he didn't intend to.
But he did. There are nearly 600,000 people in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we can't find one who saw Dad after he stopped to see Grandpa's old wife. We know he was there, we know he left, but where did he go and why? Stop me if you've heard this one before. We do not know. I rode a cab back to the airport. I booked a flight home. I flew back to Billings. What else could I do? He beckoned me, I came, and he went somewhere else for reasons that are entirely his own and entirely shrouded in mystery for anyone who loves him. This is not my fault. I will not let this be my fault. Daddy, where did you go?
You are so old.
so old too, sport, if you haven't noticed. I'm the only young one here. Let's go now and leave her to her dignity.
Never thought I'd see you again.
She's a shell, a vessel. Most of the way to a corpse, you ain't seeing her. Let's go, damn ya!
I never wanted to see you again.
So let's go.
Things were taken from me. Things I could never get back. Things that I didn't have to give to others when it was my turn to give them. And you took that from me.
You took everything.
I was 15 years old. And I trusted you. I wanted to trust you.
You knew what you were doing.
I wanted love.
See? See?
I didn't want what you had to offer me.
Lie!
I didn't know what to do with that. I didn't know how to shake loose from it when I had it. Oh, God, the shame of it. The shame of it.
You didn't want to let go. I had to do what needed doing. I had to do it.
That's why he hates me.
You're goddamn right.
I couldn't tell them. I couldn't tell them why. I couldn't tell them I was sorry. I couldn't tell them how I'd become half of what I needed to be.
You ain't sorry.
I'm sorry.
You're not. You lie now like you lied then. You're pathetic. You've always been pathetic. I tried to cut you loose from your mother's apron strings for fear they'd choke you to death. Same as I tried to cut her loose from what bound her. But you were already long gone. Useless as a boy, a son, and now a bag of nothing as a man. I couldn't give you what you needed then, and what you took from me later, what you took from her, I'll never forgive. You live your life in selfishness. I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed that you carry my name. I'm ashamed that my good blood courses through you.
Is that why you're still here? To punish me? You couldn't get enough of those kicks in while you were here? You have to follow me around and dole out more?
It'll never be enough. Not for what you did.
I was a boy. She knew what she was doing. I didn't.
You sure enough did it anyway.
I was a boy. Why didn't you take Mom back to Texas after she died like she asked you?
Fuck Texas! Your mother lived in Wyoming. She was gone. Wyoming dirt was good enough for her.
Why didn't we go as a family to see Grandma and Grandpa? Why'd they always have to come up and see us?
Fuck Texas! They say you're out, Texas!
You've never been there. Amarillo's what, five hours away from here, right? That's where Mom was from. We went down there together when I was a boy. We went there together. She's been there. The traces of her in that Texas area, I could find her there. I know I could.
Listen.
5 hours. That's it, isn't it? I cut myself off from this, and I go to her, and that's how it'll be forevermore.
Son?
So long, Dad. Have a nice afterlife.
Clinton! I'll see you soon, sweetheart.
For a few months after the funeral, I call his number to see if he would pick up. For a while, it rang through before going to voicemail. Later, after the charge was gone, I guess, straight to voicemail.
Hey, this here's Clinton Cobb. Either I can't talk to you or I don't want to talk to you. Pick the one that applies. Then leave me a message and we'll see if I call you back. Then you'll know for sure.
He had that message for years. I always told him it was unprofessional and a little insulting, but you know my dad. Can't tell him anything. Not now, anyway, if he ever could. Anyway, eventually I got on with it. What else could I do? He left us and went somewhere. In the meantime, I have to stay and get on with the life that belongs to me. The question, of course, is this. Is he out there somewhere? I think he is. Mom thinks he is. Postcards arrive irregularly, a pattern of mailing and outbound geography that can't be reconciled. The postmarks are Marfa, Texas, and Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Owensboro, Kentucky. No words. Hearts sometimes. Little drawings that I take to be me or Mom. Clues, I guess, if you're into games. I've given up on games. Can't win at them. Something chased him out of our lives and into that gaping maw of the world. Something got at him and wouldn't let him go until he let go of his own volition. Wish I knew what it was. I wish he'd talked to me before he left. But I could wish for a lot of things and harvest nothing but disappointment. Better to take things as they come. Or don't. It's not up to me anyway. He knows where we are. He knows how to find us. Earlier this year, we celebrated his birthday. We celebrated him. I made a birthday wish for him by proxy. I bet you know what it was. Maybe someday, some way, he'll find his way back to us. Maybe he'll want to, and he will. At the same time, I've given up hope that we'll hear from him. Hope like that just cuts you too deeply while you're waiting for fruition. So let's just say I'm open to it. Let's just say I'm here. Let's just say I'm willing to let the past go for the promise of the future. Let's just say a little spark goes up in the chambers of my heart every time. Hello?
I will. Thanks for coming. Seeing you.
I noticed.
Thanks for coming. Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Stacy for coming.
But only your name.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
not the most salacious.
I'll see you in front. Yeah. Well, I think we all have to.
Yes, and I was gonna do it all, but you came through the door and I had to.
Red leather, yellow
The big black bug.
The big black bug.
The big black bear.
The big black bear.
The big black bear bleeds blood.
The big black bear bleeds blood.
The big black bug with the big black bear made the big black bear bleed blood.
The big black bug with the big black bear bleeds blood.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Pickled them.
A peck of pickled peppers, Peter Piper picked.
Pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked.
If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
Where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked?
All right, here's the ball. Good. Just for the heck of it, Kate's not here. But could you two do one of your phone calls, like one of you stand back here and one in the back of the theater over here? Just
Okay.
Steve, if you get time when Kate comes, do one of your truck scenes that same way with that goes.
Sure.
Everybody else have fun? As you may notice, we have cameras tonight, so
What?
making a recording of the show.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Which one? Doesn't matter.
Hurry. Where are you?
Sharon, Katie said you wanted me to call.
Doing okay?
Sure.
Snowing.
Janine, there's a whole station devoted just to the weather. If you really care, you can tune in. What do you want?
When were you gonna tell me about Jimmy?
Well, I figured Katie would. She did, didn't she?
Well, she did clearly say she did not, otherwise how would I know? But come on, Clinton, he was my father-in-law for 21 years. You could have called and let me know.
He was here, you were in, you shared a city with him for 4 years after that, and couldn't be bothered. What do you want from me?
The same thing that I've always wanted, and that's just one consideration for what I might want or need before you go off and do what you're gonna do anyway. Who knows, maybe it'll change your trajectory one of these days, and I won't hold my breath.
Jesus.
Fine, I want nothing.
I'm sorry I didn't call, okay? I'm sorry I didn't ask Katie to come, okay?
I wish you wouldn't make it so hard. Did you say Katie?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't make it so hard on her.
But Jesus, Janine, I'm trying to make it easier. I just want to get Dad down there and be done with it. I'm trying to do what he wants without any tangling anybody else up in it.